Moving ahead, sir. Coming to power tariff side of the panel discussion. The government of India has set a target of 300 million tons of steel production by 2030. However, there is a strong need for predictable and stable tariffs to plan long-term investment commitments, especially from the electric steel industry, to grow. Your opinion on the current scenario and what the outlook is for the same. I'd like Mr. Abhay to start this, sir, please. And since, before we start, sir, since this is entirely based on energy, sir can join in whenever he wishes.
Yeah,
Sir,
I
please.
think let Mahajan ko Mr. Abhay let it.
Yeah,
Yes.
both Abhay will be there.
So,
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
You are saying about the tariffs.
Yes, sir.
And for a long-term tariffs.
Current scenario of the tariff,
Yeah,
sir,
the
and what
current
outlook is.
scenario in the tariff. As you know very well, thus this electricity tariff is being regulated in India. Every state is having their own electricity regulator. And for the central electricity, central PSUs, there is one CERC, that is Central Electricity Regulatory Authority. So whenever the tariff is being discovered, for getting this tariff stability and to get how will be the increase on year basis. Previously, it was every year the generator, the distribution company has to file a petition. Then after hearing it, the regulator passes the tariff order. From last 10 years, all the state, including the central, that is CRC also, they have gone for the multi-year tariff. It's a 5-year tariff. So every industry will have a look how the tariff will be there during the next 5 years. This duration, I think they are thinking about to increase this duration. So every industry will have a total view how the electricity tariffs will be there. Second thing, in electricity tariff, as I have discussed with some of your industries, that in your arc furnaces near about 60% electricity is required, and for your blast furnaces near about 15 to 17% is the requirement of the electricity. It's highly intensive, the steel industry is. And to have the control on this, the main thing is that nowadays the rate of the fossil fuel, mainly the coal, we are dependent on the coal, and for the God's sake, last 2 years we had a very good coal production in India. So dependency on the import coal has been reduced, but it is not still stopped, but it has not increased. So dependency on the import coal, which is costlier one, it has reduced. But at the same time, the fossil fuel rates are going to be increased. There is a good possibility that if all your industry came forward for the renewal kind of things, definitely you will have a lower tariff. Every year, the fossil fuel generation, the cost of the generation for every year will increase by at least 5 to 6%. If you see all the tariffs during the last 5 to 10 years, 5 to 6% increase always will be there. And if you buy it from a solar plant or a renewable plants, any wind, offshore wind, PSPs, the tariff will of this solar will be flat for next 25 years. If you are bringing a solar, that is renewable energy right now at your plant at a 3 rupees per unit as a cost, the 3 rupees will be constant throughout your 25 years. And if you are having a fossil fuel based electricity, that is non-RE, you can call it as, every year there will be a revision plus 5, plus 5, plus 6%. At the end of the 25 years, you can see the difference between what you have spent for your electricity bill and what you are spending if you gone for the renewable. Now the better challenge, as you know everywhere, that India has set a target of installing 500 gigawatt of RE by 2030.
Correct.
And happy to share that near about 200 gigawatt has already been completed in this year. Up till now, 200 gigawatt plant has been commissioned as they are supplying the RE power. We are going to commission another 300. It will be 500 gigawatt of network in India. There is a good chance that your industry, again, open access, green open access, captive user, group captive user, there are so many schemes for the industries to come forward for the consumption of the RE. If I am not wrong, that many of your industries, those who have visited my office, we had a discussion that if you are exporting this steel to some European countries, they required a green steel statement or a certification. And for this purpose, you will require renewable power. I think renewable power at a lower rate and which is having a constant value throughout 25 years. This will be the best option to bring your tariff or total electricity bill to a level which will be affordable to you also and which will increase your profit margin also. You can set up your own plant. You can give it a tender to any EPC, any generator, any distribution company, those who will be fulfilling all your requirement, and they will charge you on a monthly basis as per your consumption. There, near about, if you install a ground-mounted solar right now, so 4 to 4.5 crores per megawatt is right now the investment. It is much lesser, but as compared to the fossil fuel, I am having 80 to 85% plant load factor for my thermal generation, which is operating 24/7. But this solar plant will operate only for 8 hours. So near about 20 to 21% of CUF we call, that is as compared to in thermal we are calling it plant load factor. And in case of solar, we are calling it a CUF at 20 to 21%. But still it is a very good option. Apart from this, if you want this RE power in the wee hours, that is after evening to morning, because steel industry, I think it's a continual process.
Right.
You don't want any kind of disturbance in this. So for this purpose, in that hour, you can have a banking of 10%. You can bank 10% during this power. If you required 100, you can generate 110. 10% will be banked with the distribution company, which can be utilized. Within the next 1 month, that 10% can be utilized. Another factor is, if you want this renewable power, after the evening peak, in the night hours or in the early morning hours, then you have to depend on wind energy. You have to depend on the offshore wind. You have to depend on the PSPs, that is pump storage, which is being commissioned in India on a large scale basis. So this is how you can be getting a cheaper power. This is the way. And so many schemes are there right now by the regulator, by the distribution companies. You can participate and get this green status for the, what you call is open access. Open access is also available. Now open access has been reduced to, previously it was you should have a load of 1 megawatt. Now it is reduced to 100 kW also.